You know someone like this: an aunt, a grandfather, maybe your own parent. They used to bounce back from every cold in 2 days. Now the smallest sniffle turns into a week in bed. You call it getting older. But here's what almost nobody tells you. Your immune system is not just slowing down. It is quietly rebuilding itself into a weaker version, one birthday at a time. Somewhere behind your breastbone sits a small organ called the thymus. Think of it as a training camp for new immune cells. Here, young T cells learn to recognize invaders before they are ever released into your blood. This camp is busiest when you are a child, and it starts shrinking far earlier than you would expect. By puberty, it is already producing only a fraction of the T cells it once did. By your 40s and 50s, another steep drop hits, leaving it a shadow of the factory it used to be. Fewer new recruits, fewer fresh defenders. What happens to an army that stops training new soldiers? Immunologist Janko Nikolic-Jugic has spent years studying exactly this shrinking training ground. His research shows that as the thymus shrinks, your body leans harder on the T cells it already has. Those veteran cells remember old threats well, but they struggle against anything new. This is part of why a 70-year-old and a 20-year-old can catch the very same virus, yet experience it so differently. There is a second, stranger shift happening at the same time. Aging researcher Claudio Franceschi gave it a name: inflammaging. Your immune system, instead of only attacking outside threats, starts producing low-grade inflammation all the time, everywhere, for no clear reason. Imagine a smoke alarm that never fully turns off, even when there is no fire. That constant, quiet alarm wears down tissue year after year. It is linked to heart disease, joint pain, even memory loss. Why would a defense system turn on the very body it protects? Scientists do not fully agree on the answer. Some point to years of low-level infections your body never fully cleared. Others point to fat tissue itself, which can behave almost like an inflammatory organ once you pass midlife. Either way, the result is the same. A system built to protect you slowly becomes a system that also strains you. Some answers may come from something even smaller than a cell. Biologist Rita Efros studies telomeres, the protective caps on the ends of your chromosomes. Every time an immune cell divides to fight an infection, its telomeres shrink a little. Fight enough infections across enough decades, and some of your defender cells simply run out of room to divide. They do not die. They just stop working properly, sitting in your blood as exhausted, half-functioning guards. Here is the counterintuitive twist. This is not purely decline. Your immune system is also adapting, trading raw defense for something like institutional memory. It becomes extremely good at recognizing threats it has already survived. It becomes worse at meeting brand new ones. That trade-off explains why older adults often respond differently to new vaccines, and why some viruses hit later in life harder than they ever could in youth. This is where daily life quietly enters the story. Chronic stress raises the same inflammatory signals Franceschi described. Poor sleep blunts the very T-cell response Nikolic-Jugic studies. Even loneliness has been linked, in several studies, to weaker antibody responses after vaccination. Your immune system is not just aging on its own timeline. It is listening to how you live every single day and adjusting accordingly. Can a system that reacts to stress and sleep also be slowed down by the choices you make right now? Think about your own body today. Every cold you have ever fought, every flu season you have survived, has been quietly training and also quietly aging your internal army. The version of your immune system reading this sentence through your eyes is not the same version you were born with. It is older, it is more experienced, and in some very real, measurable ways, it is weaker. So the next time you catch something that used to pass in a day, remember what is actually happening beneath your skin. It is not just you getting older, it is an army, 40 years into its campaign, still showing up to work every single day.